Hey, Chris here. Welcome back to another conversation in our interview series where we talk with pros about their experiences in the music industry. Today, we're going to be talking with Dree Mon. She's an incredible singer-songwriter, and you can find her on Spotify, iTunes, go onto YouTube, type in Dree Mon. She's got some incredible music videos and tons of really awesome singles, so please check her out. I met Dree many years ago when she was first starting out, and she was putting her very first EP out and needed a guitar player. Over time, we became friends, and then she wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I ended up teaching her, and now she accompanies herself, and she is playing all over the place. And she has developed an incredible repertoire of music so that she could play for 20 minutes or for 3 hours and keep people fully engaged and entertained. And it really is awesome to see. She's also produced her own music videos and is now producing her own music and vocal sessions, and her music can be heard in tons of commercials and films. So she's built a career for herself, and I know that that was her goal. And so what we were really going to be talking about today is setting those goals and bringing them to life and what it takes to do that. So we're going to jump right in. Hope you enjoy. Just go through some questions. First thing, I would love to just kind of give everybody some insight into your story. Now, obviously, you and I have known each other for a long time, but let's pretend that we don't know each other and haven't known each other for as long as we have. And let's give everybody kind of the Cliff Notes story of how you went from wanting to be involved in music to really making it such as your life, really creating kind of a space in music that's your own. So share that with everybody.
Okay. Well, I started as a dancer and I was dancing for other singers and for other musicians. And I just loved seeing what they were doing. And all along I'd had kind of my own little private moments with music, writing songs for myself and, um, and being part of musical theater productions as a dancer, where maybe I'd sing in the ensemble or, something really background with music. And I always loved it. And I always wanted to do more, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what the first thing was about it. I didn't have any training at all. And so, I really just started with a declaration, and this might sound funny, but I just started with a declaration that I'm going to do this. I'm going to be in music. I'm going to be a songwriter. I'm going to be a performer in music. And with that, I set forth to taking the songs that I was writing and, letting other people hear them, getting feedback and starting the collaboration process with other folks that were playing guitar, that were playing piano, that were already pretty good at writing. And, we started doing shows together. And that was really just the beginning of it all. And, times were different then than they are now, of course. Everything is kind of online at this moment. So that was then, but, that really carried me forth. And through that, I did tons of collaborations. I did tons of songwriting. I got some music on TV and film. I performed at many venues. I definitely did the 10,000 hours. And and that just kind of led me to other little paths in music, and here I am still doing it. So it's been about 10 years, I'd say.
That's amazing. So you touched on some incredibly important points. Just in that, I mean, we're talking about one, declaring for yourself, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
I don't know how, and I don't know where I'm going to land, but I'm going to do it. And then the second step, I mean, the importance, how important was community in all of this and finding like-minded people?
Community is everything. I honestly do not think, I don't think I could do this by myself. I really, sometimes you might feel like you're by yourself because, that's the nature of humanity. And sometimes we have those moments, but you need community and you need to get involved. And if you don't feel like you're involved, you need to insert yourself in a way that you can be involved. So for me, going out, meeting other musicians, asking musicians, do you know other people? Do you know, just kind of getting that pipeline going, going to shows. And now that we're online, you can go to online shows. There's tons of shows online that are happening, and you could be a part of those. That's a great place to meet musicians and collaborators. Um, Joining groups, joining conferences, joining courses. I've learned a ton from the conferences I've gone to. I've been to Durango Songwriters Expo, the Hawaii Songwriting Festival, ASCAP experience, and several others, countless others. And I always meet so many people, and they become like this community, and they're really supportive because everybody is trying to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
they know how it is.
Well, that's, I think, also an important lesson you're saying, to be a fan first. I mean, people like to use the word contacts, but contacts really doesn't get us anywhere. Friends, friendships, relationships, supportive kind of exchange is, you know, where we really start to build that system that supports us long term. And especially now when you're online, you've already built this community, and so you can still be connected and involved with it, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. And
All right. So we did get caught off by a brief technical difficulty, but we were just talking about the importance of community and how you kind of built your own little support network of people, and how part of that was making sure you're supportive of everyone else. And when you go to see shows, or when you're purchasing music or listening to music or promoting other people, I've always seen you just be incredibly supportive of everybody around you. Um,
I try. I mean, it's just, I think, in my nature to do it, and I enjoy it. And I feel like, you get what you give.
I love that. You get what you give. Exactly. So if we go all the way back to the beginning, you did say that there was a moment when you made a declaration you're going to be in music, period. But I imagine the seeds of this started before then. So was there a person or a moment or an artist that just connected with you? And about how old were you?
Wow. Well, it was so funny. So, well, when I was a teenager, that's kind of when it all started, I think. So I was already dancing. So I was already listening to like the latest music and the coolest music, because dance teachers are really like the curators. They were like the Spotify playlist curators of those days. And so I'm very thankful to them. But I had a couple things happen. When I was a teenager, I was hit by a car. I had to take a brief time off of dancing, and I did obviously get back to it. But during that time, I had a lot of thoughts and feelings, and I was just writing them, putting pen to paper, and it was very cathartic, and things were coming out really easily, and I was loving it. And it kind of became a newfound passion of mine, which was writing. And after that, I was just a really huge fan of artists like Gwen Stefani. And, someone like her, she was very similar in the sense that she carved out her own brand, and she has her own persona, and, kind of came from the ground up as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so she was hugely inspiring to me.
And about how long from that period of time until now, where you really know songwriting is where you belong, how long do you think that took to really kind of find your path into music?
It took me a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's kind of there's so many options, and it's such a wide world, and a lot of them, I mean, everybody knows what they hear, right, on the radio or see on music videos, but there's just so much more to it than that.
There is. And I think, between life and trying this and trying that, our paths are not linear. But, my advice to people is, they know that they enjoy something, to go for it, like, as soon as possible, because why wait? If you know, then because a lot of the times things that stop us are insecurities, or lack of resources, or lack of community. But if you can get those things, and get going, do it and don't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you, at this point in your career, do quite a variety of things. I mean, you are writing and you have your own music. You're also co-writing with people. You're doing some sync things as well. But then on top of that, you are also a performer, and you've cultivated this ability to to do long sets of music that embody a variety of different styles and interpretations and things. And so, one question is, in all of that, what's your favorite? What's your favorite aspect of music? Is it performance? Is it writing? Is it recording?
I think in all honesty, and I've asked myself this question so many times, I think it is performing. Um, and it's just, it's always there, and it's always the first thing that I want to do. Um, I'll put that before anything else. So it just keeps happening repeatedly. So I know that it's my favorite for sure.
So now I've heard that before, and I've had trouble with explaining this. Why? What is it about performing? You know?
I think there's so many things. I mean, just just getting into that state of singing and performing, there's something like that makes you feel whole. Kind of feels like coming home at this point, and I feel very comfortable on the stage, which the stage now is online a lot of the time. But I feel like that's really where I can be the best me. um, I also really get a lot out of the reactions of other people. I know that when people are happy and they're enjoying it, there's something like really fulfilling and validating. And, that's just the honest truth. So I crave that as well, I think.
Yeah, there's an energy exchange that's kind of unexplainable. Um, I know that when I go a period of time without performing, I just miss it. It's just
Yeah.
something that's irreplaceable. Um, so, what is the best piece of advice that someone has ever given you?
Huh. That's hard.
That is hard.
I don't know if I know this one. Um, I guess when it comes to your dreams, because dreams are about your mindset, you know. I guess imagine yourself if you were a little kid, and imagine like telling yourself, okay, this is, all the things that you're going to be able to do, and all the things you can do, and all the things you're capable of doing. Um, a lot of times as we grow older, we start to talk down to ourselves, and we start to create our own limits and barriers. And so if you think of yourself as a little kid, you wouldn't stop yourself. You wouldn't tell that little kid, like, you can't do that, right? So
Yeah.
don't tell yourself that. So even as you're growing older, don't lose your inner child, in the sense that, don't lose your ambition and your drive and your just belief that anything can happen.
That's fantastic advice. Take no limits, and I think that you've embodied that. I mean, that actually brings me back. One thing I definitely wanted to make sure that we covered today is, uh, when we perform, uh, you don't just start playing in an arena. You start. Um, playing for friends and family, playing, for small audiences and parties and situations. Then you move up to venues, and then start to build an audience, etc. And we know how that progression goes. But when we first started working together, we played one of the most memorable gigs of my life, and I would love for you to share that story. Um, we played that private party. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, that was wild. Literally. Yeah.
So we
Uh,
played covers at a private party, and there was a live lion there.
yeah, that was really crazy. So, I mean, imagine being in a backyard, a big backyard, playing for, a group of, it was a Halloween party, and the owner and the party thrower, he wanted to have shock value and actually rented a lion. And the lion was just chilling, just there by the pool, just, I
Right.
mean,
And we're not talking a little lion or a tiger. We're talking an actual full-size Lion King lion.
yeah, it was kind of scary.
It was, and he had a special trainer, and I can't imagine the trainer because the trainer was so nonchalant about the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just stayed over there, just watch the lion from afar.
Yeah, that was wild. So one of the things that I've always respected and loved the most, which I think our students can learn a lot from, is that you have been kind of pretty much fearless in achieving the music videos, the sound of your music, and relentless in refining what that sounds like, and
Mhm.
raising the bar. And I think part of that I've always really found to be so inspiring is that if you don't know something, you go and find out how to do it. You've taken guitar lessons, you've taken recording lessons, songwriting lessons, you've been a part of all of these awesome conferences. How important has that been in helping you kind of shape what you want your sound to be and who you want to be?
I mean, it's everything. It's everything. Having mentors is so important. Um, Mentors and teachers and people to guide you and people to run things by. That is huge. Um, because you might not know, like you said, you might not know everything. So, well, you're not going to know everything. So you can defer to people that do know more in certain areas. And that is like, without that, I don't think I would be able to do anything, honestly. Like that's been everything for me.
Yeah, I mean it's a time saver, right? I mean ultimately,
Yeah.
to just go to the source for people that know how to do what you're trying to do, and try to emulate it and pick good models, right? Good models
Yes.
to aspire to. So, what are you working on right now? What's on your plate right this moment?
Well, I just recorded my next single at home, which is fantastic because I was always going to studios and recording, and now that things have happened with coronavirus, I'm at home and I can't go to another studio necessarily. So I decided to take the plunge and um, make sure that I can record my own vocals and that I have the gear and the skills to do that. And I'm super excited about how it turned out. The song is amazing, and it's in production, but it's about to get mixed. It's really close, so look out for that. And I'm also streaming a ton on online, and my favorite platform to stream on right now is Twitch, actually. And so I'm there at least twice a week, Friday, Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time. And um, and so, yeah, those shows have been fantastic, and they're ongoing, and they're a lot of fun. And you can come and join in and see what's going on and be a part of it.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. So, with the coronavirus, which has obviously, put us in more of a digital space, but what do you think you've gained from in terms of this experience, in terms of skills you might not have had, or and like Twitch, I haven't even heard of, and you shared that with me.
Yeah, well, definitely everything about virtual streaming, because I do know other artists, other independent artists that have been doing virtual shows for a long time, and it wasn't something that I was really comfortable with, or maybe interested in. And once coronavirus hit, I just fully embraced it, and I just went to figure out, okay, how does this work? How does this work? And every platform is a little bit different. Some of the settings might be different, and you might desire different gear for different platforms. I mean, it's all really like a whole new world, but it's so exciting when you get your sound and your video to just be the way you want it to. You feel so good, and people are enjoying it, and again, it's a way to connect with people all over the world. You're not just limited to performing in front of people that live within a 10-mile radius of your live show. You can perform for people in Australia and, South Africa and the UK, and then, people in other states. It's like, it's just really cool. And then the world just gets smaller and smaller. So I think it's amazing.
That's awesome. Okay, so last little thing, if you were gonna give and impart advice on the young minds, the future generation, the next rock stars, what advice would you give?
Just don't stop being prolific. Keep doing, keep writing, keep creating. The world needs you. The world needs your art. There is a place for you and a place for your art in the world, and we need it. So just keep making it and don't stop.